Hey guys, welcome back to the United Star. And today we have two special guests with us. We have Aakash from MUFC Delhi and Ranit from MUFC Calcutta. And it's a pleasure having both of you all here to see how, Manchester United is so embedded within our country. And today we're here to talk about the semi-final preview. We're doing our semi-final preview against Sevilla. And we all remember that Champions League game at Old Trafford, right? Where Sevilla almost kind of knocked us out with that 2-1 victory, which was just saddening to say the least. So I'm going to straight get into it. What's your take on the full fixture and how Sevilla play and United being the way we are?
I think, first of all, I'd just like to congratulate all of you at United Star for whatever you guys are doing. And I mean, it's good to see such small communities building in India. Like MUFC Delhi, just like United Star, even from MUFC Kolkata. It's great that we all keep collaborating on some level or the other. To get to your question, I feel, first of all, whenever I talk about the semi-final to anybody, across any platform, I feel like it just feels good how far away we've come since the defeat in the Champions League against Sevilla. The other day, I was looking at the team that Jose Mourinho started against Sevilla that caused us the defeat. I mean, to have somebody like a Martial and a Rashford and a Pogba on the bench, that too when they're just goes to show what kind of a mentality we were club back then. And you have Martial back as a number 9, having his best season. Rashford has had a terrific season of 22 goals despite such a long injury. And of course, Pogba being back since the restart. So I think it's going to be an exciting game. I won't lie, because not just because it's a semi-final and we really need to win a semi-final, but also because Sevilla are really good in this competition. They've won it 5 times. They've never been beaten in a semi-final in the Europa League. And all that matters because, you've done it before. It's just like if United are playing any of the top competitions where we actually belong, you have that feeling that, okay, this can go around anyway, but you've done this before, so you can do it again. So it's not about doing something for the first time, but replicating it. And when I come here, I see Sevilla as such a solid side doing so well for themselves in this competition and otherwise. And we see this new United team under Ole, biggest match, if I may say so, in the European competitions. I'm worried, but I'm confident as well because I think we have a full. And I think after the previous match, Ole would also like to start Victor Lindelof right from the beginning. And so let's see how it goes. I'm excited nonetheless.
I think Aakash has summed it up really well, but coming to something very important, and I would like to ask Ronit about this. I mean, we've already been in 2 semi-finals, right? And we saw some dismal performances. I mean, the first leg against City, which we lost 3-1, and against Chelsea, we lost 3-1. But when it came to that one crucial game in which we had to perform, we did outperform City. So do you think when it comes to that one crucial game, Ronit, that we can outperform the likes of Sevilla?
Hey, firstly, thanks for having us and KMUC. It's a great honor to be here. And like Aakash said, you guys are doing a great job. And yeah, we should all keep it up. Yeah, coming back to the question you asked, I feel, the fact that they are there in the past will be at the back of Ole's mind. And he'll be like, okay, we have lost in 2 semifinals and this is our chance to, correct that and move ahead. And more importantly, what I feel will help us going is because we have the Champions League spot secured now. And we finished 3rd. From a position I don't think any of us fancied us there, to be very honest. So that will be at the back of the players' mind and the coaching staff, and that will give us a lot of confidence. And Sevilla, they are a good team. They've finished 4th in Spain, and all Spanish teams are good teams at the end of the day because of the style they play in. But then again, if we stay patient, if we do what we do good, I think we can hit them and we can beat them this time around. We should have beaten them last time around as well, but okay, it's past. There's no point of going there. I think we have the playing 11, first 11 definitely to beat them. And the confidence and what, like you said, what has happened in the past will give us a better boost to go ahead and, at least reach the final. Then it's another story.
Completely. Prayan, just what Ranit mentioned about, having the starting 11. We've seen that Ole isn't even making a lot of changes, right, to the 11 when he has a possibility to make five substitutes. He only brings on maybe two or three. So do you think he still doesn't trust the likes of, Daniel James or even Igalo for that matter when he wasn't brought on when we were playing so many long balls in the previous game?
Yeah, I don't think he trusts his players as of now. The players he trusts, you see, he plays them continuously. We saw how he put on Andres Pereira at the start of the season, where I mean, we all knew he wasn't up to it, but I think he didn't have an option that time. So now he has an option. So I don't think he's going to push players like Igalo and Dan James right now. So I don't think he'll change the lineup again. He trusts the squad and he trusts them to, they've been playing well also. So I don't think he'll be looking to change the squad at all.
So, Prayan, since you've mentioned the
I
squad, yeah, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'd just like to add to that about the fact that Ole doesn't make a lot of substitutions. Of course, I'm not disagreeing with Priyan on any level. In fact, I agree with whatever he just said. But also, there are just some managers who do not like making a lot of substitutions as far as the consistency in the 90 minutes go. Even, I mean, I don't know if it's an appropriate example, but if I'm just looking at a manager, even if you look at Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool or Dortmund, you'll hardly find games where he's used all his three substitutes. I mean, forget five. We have five these days. It's just about somebody having the confidence that I know this team can go on for 90 minutes. They can push for 90 minutes because they're physically prepared for that. And then, of course, comes the point which Priyan and you and Vishesh mentioned that supposedly if you take out say a Rashford or a Marshall and you bring in an Igalo or Daniel James, they will definitely not be able to fill in the shoes as well as the players who are coming off, which of course brings us to the squad depth, but that's a different discussion altogether.
So, I mean, we'll just get to you, Akash. Then you mentioned the squad. What kind of 11 would you like to see? Do you see any changes from the quarterfinal?
Yeah, I think Victor Lindelof will start right from the beginning instead of Eric Bailly. And apart from that, I don't really see a change. Oh yeah, maybe yes, even Matic would start over Fred. Because see, I was having this discussion while the game was going on with a couple of United fellow fans, where they said that they are really liking the way United are playing and Fred is doing a fabulous job. My point to them was that Fred doing his a good job is not the point. The point is that as soon as you start a midfield of Bruno, Pogba, and Fred, you suddenly lose a lot of stability, and a stability can only be provided by a CDM, which is why you need a Matic, or if Matic is unavailable, then somebody like a Scott McTominay. Because as soon as you start a Fred and a Pogba in a two-man pivot behind Bruno, Pogba is forced to play far behind where he usually would want to play, which is as a number 8 along with Bruno. And that suddenly you're getting, I think, 50% of Pogba's usual potential. So I would want from the previous game Fred and Eric Bailly to be replaced by Matic and Victor Lindelof, respectively.
Ramnit, what's your take on that? Do you think that those are the changes to go with, or should we stick with Fred? Because there's been a lot of praise for Fred with the last game and how he's played.
Yeah, he played well, but praises are fine, but we need to look at the opponent as well, right? So Matic has to be there. Matic and Lindelof, they have to be there, because I love Bailey, but but then again the problem with Bailly and Maguire is first things first. They are both on yellow cards, so you don't want to start a game with two yellow cards. First things first. Although they won't either, if they want get one, they are not going to get off for that match. But the final, if we go through, is the problem. So you just want, and Lindelof provides me more surety over Bailly, because Bai gives you that he has recovery pace, so he can recover if Maguire makes a mistake. But again, at times, what Bai does in his box gives me heart attacks. So I just rather want to have somebody who's more composed and can do the job. And coming to Matic, of course, Matic has to come back in place of Fred, because Fred did really well. But in terms of Pogba and Fred, you kind of have both similar players, flair players who will just get the ball and try to do. In terms of defense, I feel we are lacking there. So Matic gives you that stability where, yeah, he can break the play and start the game from there. So he comes in behind as a third center half also, if you notice. And that's a role where I don't think Fred sits in properly. If you're chasing a game, okay, maybe you put in 3 attacking-minded midfielders, but from the start, just be safe because the game of midfield will be very important against Sevilla. Because Sevilla, Spanish team, they'll play from the midfield, and to have a stable, composed midfield is very important. So yeah, those will be my 2 changes as well.
So, Priyan, I think Ranit and Akash have both gone for the most, the strongest Manchester United that we've seen since lockdown. But something interesting that took place in the previous game, and I would like to ask you your lineup after that, is that we couldn't break down the team, right? We couldn't break down Copenhagen and get those chances, even though the keeper had some amazing saves to make. And Mata played a pivotal role. So, do you see maybe the likes of Greenwood coming on for Mata in the center, or Rashford hasn't done that much, so maybe Rashford comes off? What's your 11?
Yeah, I think I've been
And
saying this
and
from
Prayan, I'm so sorry. I'd just like to add to what Vishesh asked you, because this would be a good addition to the question. Is the fact that since Sevilla plays so much from the midfield and so much of all their attacks are dependent on somebody with the likes of Ever Banega, would it be interesting for us to play 2-1-2 with a midfield of, say, Matic, Fred, Pogba, and Bruno, and say an attack of Martial along with Greenwood or Rashford? Because that will actually, force them to play through the wings, and they have particularly wings as compared to their midfield. So that would be a question I would like to ask.
right. So just initially, I think I personally wouldn't play Rashford in the game right now. I think he's been a little off since he's come back, and he's been coming back from the injury, and it's been such a serious injury. I've been thinking from the start. I don't think he should have played in the Europa League firstly. But given that, I think Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, these are guys we have now who have you can't take them off because you need that moment of brilliance from them. You don't know when it's going to come. You don't know if it's going to come, but I mean, it just happens like, and we have Bruno for that also right now. So I think these 4 players you can't take off right now. Mata was really good. Mata was really good, and he helped us break down the team. But I think I wouldn't give up Greenwood's two-footed finish or the step over and finish. I wouldn't. I don't think I would give that up for getting Mata into the team.
So
So I
are
would
you
remain
going with
stick
the
in the
same
same squad.
11? Are you going with the same
Yeah,
11?
same.
I'd like to answer one thing that Akash you pointed out. I think Priyan missed that point. So I'll just like you were talking about a midfield diamond, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of personally feel midfield diamond won't work. I'll tell you why. Because we have Brandon with Suso and Jesus Navas, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
They play down their right, and we have Brandon. So if we play a diamond, that leaves the wing a lot, open. For Jesus Navas and Suso can be really, really very difficult to deal with, because Brandon, as fine as he has been, I don't think he has the maturity right now and ability as well to handle that kind of pressure. Because if you have noticed in the last game as well, he was towards the end, he was kicking around people. I mean, I think he was this much away from conceding a penalty because he just swung his foot at, I think, Flick. It was Flick only. I was like, what is this boy doing? And you can't even blame him. He's a kid. So putting that much responsibility, and like Rian said, Rashford hasn't been good. So putting that much responsibility on a youngster is going to be kind of difficult. So I'd rather have a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, whatever we will. And Rashford has to put in a shift because Navas and Suso otherwise can be wreak havoc from the side.
Also, I think
Fair point.
it's sort of not the right stage to try out a new formation. Play with
Correct.
Fred and Matic together.
Yeah.
So maybe it was maybe you could have tried it against Copenhagen, but I don't think Sevilla semi-final is the game to try it.
Yeah, and personally, like I was going to touch on the Sevilla point, and Akash and Ranit have mentioned a few players here and there. But when it comes to the formation, we saw the change he made against Chelsea, right? He went for the 3 at the back and he got completely schooled. So I
Yeah.
think he would stick with that 4-2-3-1 and continue. And when it comes to I would say our wing backs in Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Williams, I think the pace that Sevilla have on the attack, we need the support of Greenwood and Rashford, right? So that's why I think Ranit makes a very valid point that Rashford will have to support
Correct.
Brandon Williams because he's still inexperienced. He's not a Luke Shaw. He's probably a Luke Shaw in the making, but he's not at that level yet. So I'll just wrap up this video, guys. What, according to you, are the predictions, and who do you think we'll face in the final if we reach? So Akash, what's your predicted score?
It's so tough to predict, man. But since it's one-legged, I am personally I'm expecting it to go to extra time again. But this time not at 0-0. I think it'll go at extra time at 1-1 with United scoring the winner late into the extra time, and I think we'll win it 2-1. And I don't know if it will happen. I think it most probably will happen. But I want to face Inter and beat them, man. We gotta stick it to Lukaku at some point of time.
I think
I
that's
guess.
I think that's what everyone wants, right? To show Young that we're lifting the trophy. Young and Sanchez and Lukaku. Run it.
Young gets a trophy. Young gets a medal anyway. Inter wins. We
Yeah.
win. He gets his share.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I
yeah,
think more than
come-
Young, I think Young has been a very, very, very loyal servant. And
Yeah.
it's just, I wish he were left at a better note. But it's more to do with Lukaku and Sanchez, and especially Lukaku. I mean, you really got to show him what he's missing on.
Exactly. Ranit, what's your score prediction and final lookout?
Yeah, I'll go with 2-1 like Akash said, but I really hope it does not go to the extra time because we played 120 minutes. That will be legs. That would be legs, and we have already been very tired, Mata said. So I hope it doesn't go. I hope just we somehow finish it in the 90th minute. On the 90th minute, it would be terrific if we scored a winner in the 90th minute. But yeah, 2-1 to United.
And who do you see us playing in the final? Inter Milan?
I personally want Shakhtar. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being different. I just want a trophy. I don't care who's. I'd rather have them in the Champions League group stage next season and look to teach a lesson. But I just want a trophy. So Shakhtar is a better team to.
So you just
do that.
want Fred versus Shakhtar to happen again. Fred.
Yeah, just put Fred on. But I didn't think Fred will start anyway in the final if we go there, Matic.
Rayan, what's your predicted score? And
I don't think I don't feel we'll concede. I think it'll be a 2-0 win. But
Wow.
that is given that, United turn up with this score. Otherwise, it's going to be, again, extra time. I could see it going to penalties also because I don't see us conceding. I think we'll be defensively quite solid.
I agree with that. I have a feeling it's going to go to penalties and maybe Romero saves us in this game. And because we all know De Gea can't make penalty saves. That's a different altogether. So guys, that's about it. I would like to again thank Aakash and Ranit for coming on. Do check out MUFC Delhi and Calcutta. Links will be in the description. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.